Hey guys, I am Chris.
And I'm Randy.
And you guys are watching Marksman TV. Welcome back to another unboxing video. As you can see, and as I mentioned on the last video, we are getting a ton of stuff in. So we're gonna go ahead and move through these boxes and show you what we got. If that sounds interesting to you, stick around, that's coming up now. Alright guys, jumping into this, on last week's video I got a bunch of comments in the comment section from people who were obviously new to the channel who didn't quite understand what was going on with all the boxes. For those who don't know, we run a website called WeBuyGuns. And then, you know, the typical commercial ending on that. We can't really give out web addresses or the robots at YouTube get upset. And people submit their firearms and we make offers on them, and if they like our offers they sell them to us and ship them to us, and then we unbox them and sell them. So that's basically the gist of it. But in these videos we're just showing you what we got. We're not, making this video to sell anything, again, to keep the YouTube moderators happy. So anyway, jumping into this one, our first box comes to us from
Virginia.
Let's do it. Let's see.
There's some packing material here.
All right. Squire guitar.
Squire.
A Ruger looks like an AR-556. And it is an AR-556. So the AR-556, if you guys are interested in sort of the entry-level AR-15 market, the 556 is an excellent way to go. I have a video comparing this with the Wesson and the Springfield Steyr. And actually in that video when I took them out and fired them, that was a long time ago, the AR-556 I think performed the best out of the three. So for the money, this is a really good one to get started on. Ruger put some of its own improvements on it, like a threaded on delta ring, so it's a lot easier to replace your furniture instead of having to use the delta ring puller device. They put their own sort of spin on the front sight block. It has a typical Ruger like Mini 14 type birdcage flash hider. Just excellent AR-15s. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would say excellent, Chris.
And there's no paperwork?
No.
Okay, so we don't have the paperwork with this, but we'll look it up. But as long as the customer said excellent or anything under than that, then we're good. So very good. Let's move on to the next one. Okay, up next we have one from a customer in Arizona. Anything else? What we have here is a Steyr AUG, or AUG, a lot of people call them. Steyr AUG is an Austrian design. Actually came about through the 1970s and for the time was very sort of space age and had that very iconic appearance. They were imported by Steyr, or not by Steyr, but imported into the country in the late 80s, early 90s, but then would be banned from import, and then they would have a ban compliant one coming through the 90s. Then Steyr would actually establish manufacturing here in the United States and come up with the A3, I believe this is the A3 M1 variant, 5.56. They also have a 9mm conversion with both the NATO stock, which takes standard AR-15 mags, or the traditional Austrian stock, which takes these very iconic waffle magazines, 30-round capacity. They have the 40-round capacity as well. They sell them with the big tactical pickle on top, the integrated scope with the rails, or just a flat top you see here, so you can put your own optics and things like that on it. These are very cool. I've had one before. I really enjoyed it. One of my favorite bullpup rifles. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would say excellent, Chris.
That's what the customer said, and I totally agree. The thing looks like new. There's a couple little marks here from brass. It kind of hits right here against it. Did that on mine too, so that's normal. But anyway, very cool rifle. Let's move on to the next one.
All right, next up we have one from the same customer in Arizona. Ooh.
All right, next up we have an auto Ordnance Thompson. I could tell it's a lightweight version with the alloy receiver. So they make these in the steel receiver. It's a very heavy. This with the alloy makes it a little bit easier to carry. With the stick mag and the, I believe this is a 50-round drum magazine. These are really cool. So everybody knows about the original Thompson. Through the 1920s, there's the Model 21, the 28, the M1, the M1A1. I don't think I'm leaving any out. But this is sort of a modeled after the original sort of 1921 model, made famous in the 1920s by the gangsters and all of that sort of stuff, and then would go on to sea service in the United States military in World War II as the 1928 A1, the M1, and the M1A1. So very cool firearms. This is a semi-automatic only version of that with a 16-inch barrel, cuts compensator, finned barrel, and iconic vertical grip with the top-mounted charging handle, 45 ACP, done by Car Arms, who now owns Auto Ordnance, who is manufacturing these even still today. They make them in many different configurations. They do have the M1A1 configuration as well as this, which they call the 1927 A1. They make them in a carbine like this and a pistol and SBR'd actually already from the factory. You can buy them on a Form 4. So very cool firearms. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would say excellent, Chris.
Yeah, I would agree. It looks unfired and new. So anyway, very cool. Let's move on to the next one. All right, next up is yet another from the same customer in Arizona. Very, very nice. All right. With a 10-round magazine. This is chambered in .308. This is a Springfield M1A. This one is the standard with the walnut furniture. Now, Bob Reese of Springfield had worked, or I'm going to say he had sort of worked with competition shooters who liked the idea of sort of a service rifle, competition rifle, but they didn't want to be able to purchase, they couldn't purchase really surplus M14s because they were select fire and NFA items. So while in Texas, he had the idea of coming up with a semi-automatic version. It was either him or, gosh, I'm getting my history a little mixed up. But anyway, when they would move to Illinois and open Springfield Armory, not to be confused with Springfield Arsenal, which there is no relation, this is one of the ones that they would put out. They have been making these since it was around the 1980s. You can get to the sort of golden era M1As built with actual M14 parts on the remade cast Springfield receivers. But today you can still buy them. They come in so many different, configurations. Polymer stocks with the, competition stocks. You can get them in the Scout length, the SOCOM length, or the traditional 22-inch barrel length you see here, with the iconic shoulder thing that goes up. That's what that is. Very nice rifles, very good quality. What do you think about the condition of that?
I would say excellent condition, Chris.
That's what the customer says, and I have no argument here. Again, looks brand new. So we'll move on to the next one.
Next, we have yet another one from the same customer in Arizona, Chris. Let's see what's in this one.
Very nice. What we have here is the right arm of the free world. This is an FN FAL. It has a shorter barrel on it. I think that's probably an 18-inch barrel. The M1A came from FN. It was a design designed by Dieudonné Save, and was used by a lot of countries during the pre and mid-Cold War era. So these would be adopted in the inch pattern by the Commonwealth countries like Great Britain, Australia, New Zealand, Ireland. Belgium, of course, had manufactured them at FN. These have been imported into the country, into the United States as pre-bans. They are manufactured today, and this is what this is, most notably by DSA, DS Arms. And they make them in many different configurations. That is what this is. Not much else to say about it, but if you're looking to get an FAL, again, you can still get them. And the DSAs are known for being very, very good representations of the FAL. And actually, for many years, people would just buy the receivers and build their own on parts kits. And this was sort of, the DSA was sort of the gold standard for receivers. They were always known for being very good quality. So what do you think about that one?
That's a few marks probably from the brass. I would say overall, excellent condition, Chris.
That's what the customer said. So again, a lot of very gently used firearms from the same seller in Arizona. We definitely really appreciate it. So we'll move on to the next one. And we have another from the same seller. It's kind of a tribute video, I guess, if you will.
All right, what we have here, Chris, is a Henry rifle. This particular one is 22 long rifle. This is the Frontier version with the heavy octagonal barrel, the Golden Boy brass. Beautiful rifles, extremely accurate rifles with that octagonal heavy barrel, Chris.
So everybody knows that when it comes to 22 levers, the Marlin 39A is my favorite, but these are a very close second. Gorgeous firearms. You can enjoy looking at them and shooting them. They are very reliable, very accurate, and very, very fun, especially if you have their other big boy, you know, the 357, the 44 Magnum, or the Classic Series, or anything like that. You know, your practice and everything translates right over, especially if you're doing the SASS, cowboy action competitions, or anything like that. Very, very cool firearms. They just are beautiful. They're stunning. Speaking of this one is, again, has the hang tags on it. I don't even know if it was used. It's like new condition. What do you think about the condition?
Excellent condition, definitely, Chris. Probably unfired.
Yeah, I'm going to say excellent. That's what the customer said, so no argument from us. Beautiful rifle. Let's move on to the next one.
Well, Chris, looks like we have one more from our very good customer out in Arizona. Let's see what's inside this box.
Need to assemble it.
Okay.
What do we have here?
Well, looks like we have a Mossberg
Silver
Reserve 2 12 gauge shotgun, over and under, screw and chokes, vent rib barrel, beautiful wood on this, beautiful engraving.
Yeah, I mean, these are sort of budget-ish over under shotguns. They are very affordable, new and used. As far as over-unders go. To get into something that's really nice, beautiful looking firearm on not a super high amount of money, these Mossberg over-unders are a good way to go. So not much else to say about it. What do you think about the condition of it?
Excellent condition, Chris.
Yep, totally agree, and that's what the customer said. So that's it for that customer in Arizona. So again, big thank you.
Next up, Chris, we have one from a customer in Florida.
This is a Sig, I believe it's a 5.56 Patrol swap pistol, Sig 5.56, but it's built off the 5.56 pattern or the Swiss 550 series, but this one is in the pistol configuration and is the Patrol model. Sig had done, they did the 5.56 rifle, they did the 5.51A1, I believe. But back when Sans Sig Swiss AG, I believe, I'm going off of memory here, they had been manufacturing these in Switzerland and was their primary rifle, the 550 series. Sig had done a series of manufactured rifles for the U.S. consumer market, first based off the 5.51. They had them using the original Swiss Sig magazines, but then later had gone to the Stanag or the AR-15, the 5.56, like the P-mags and things like that. But they have since discontinued those. They have the XI for the Russian model and 7.62x39, which is essentially what this is. This is one of the 5.56 though, and this is again in the pistol configuration. So very interesting. Sig is no longer making these, so a little bit of an oddity. What do you think about the condition of that one?
It has a few marks on it here and there. I would say very good, the high end, very good.
Yeah, customer said excellent, and it's close enough. I mean, there's obviously some marks from the brass, which you can't avoid, and it is a used gun after all. Other than that, there's a handling mark here or there on the rail section, but nothing that's going to catch your eye right away. I mean, looking at it, yeah, I would probably say high end to very good, but excellent is right there on the line for me, so I'm totally cool with that. It's a very good looking handgun. So anyway, we will move on to the next one. Big thank you to our customer in Florida. All right, go ahead.
Next up is from a customer in Minnesota. Oh, wait a minute, shipping towel.
All right. All right. Shipping towel.
That matches my bathroom, Chris.
And it's been laundered recently. Thank you. This would go well with shipping curtain we got. Not going to believe it, guys. We have a matching set. We don't even need to look at the gun.
Careful with that, Chris.
I'm just so excited. I don't even need to go to Bed Bath & Beyond.
Nope.
Not anymore.
That's right.
All right, look at that.
So what we have here is a Ruger 44 Magnum carbine. So this essentially is the big old brother to the
Big old brother.
Big old brother to the Ruger 1022. I don't know a lot about these, Chris.
Yeah, they are not manufactured anymore. They would take the 1022 pattern, which was very popular, and scale it up to the 44 Magnum. I don't believe well, at the same time, Marlin was coming out with the camp rifle, so this was sort of a way to compete with that. Really cool firearm. They are loaded. How do you load it? I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, it's tube fed.
Okay.
Yeah, you push that down.
You push that
and you
slide
load it
them
into the tube. Well, how about that? Very cool rifles. I've had a few of these in here before, but we do not see them all that often. So it's always cool when these sort of older Rugers come in. What do you think about the condition of that one?
Kind of shows the age a little bit. There's quite a few marks there. But I would say, considering the age, Chris, probably still good condition.
Yeah, I would say good. Yeah, I would give it a solid good. There's a lot of handling marks here. I don't know, maybe somebody wearing rings, grabbing it around here, just kind of scraped it up a little bit in the wood. The metal actually looks pretty perfect. There's no scratches or rust or pitting or excess finish wear, so most of the abuse, I wouldn't even really call it abuse, but most of the wear is happening in the stock. Some finish wear back here. Oh, and a social security or a serial number scribed into the butt plate. Don't know why. Does that match the number on the stock or on the receiver?
It says 8675309.
Everybody's got their phone out right now.
Yep. Get that out of your head. Unthink Jenny. That does not match any other numbers on the rifles, I'm not sure.
It's a personal identification number or something. But anyway, we say good, customer says good.
Good.
Woohoo! All right there. But awesome rifle, don't see these too often. We will move on to the next one. All right, next up we have one from Tennessee.
I thought it'd be bigger, Chris.
All right, what we have here is a Sig P238 Legion series. So the 238 has been around for quite a long time, kind of their own iteration off of what the Colt Mustang series, sort of like the scaled down 1911 ASC pistol, although there's a lot of functional differences between a 238 and a 1911. This is the 380, the 938 was the 9mm, which is just slightly bigger. It was probably Sig's main concealed carry pistol line for a while, until they would come out with the P365. So these were the things that most people would purchase from Sig if they were looking for a carry firearm. My wife carried a 938 for a while. Now the Legion series, in typical Sig fashion, is they come up with many different varieties and different finish types, the Equinoxes and the Nitrons and the Legions and the Elites and all that different stuff, to sort of market the firearms over and over and over again. The Legion series covers the 238, the 938, the 226, the 229, the P220, and they have sort of the grayish finish. I know on the double single action pistols they have the SRT in them. I don't know about the single action. I imagine, yeah, the trigger is definitely nice. it looks different too. But very cool pistols, and they're a little tough to come by these days, especially again because the P365s are out. So when they were purchased originally, they would have the Legion, package, where you got the typical Sig hard case, but you also got a Legion soft case with the chevron on it and a little collector's coin, which this one has not been opened. So very cool. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would say excellent, Chris.
And I would totally agree with that. It looks like new, and the customer did say excellent as well, so no problems there. Let's move on to the next one.
This one is from Michigan, Chris. Let's see what's in here. Wouldn't that special? A Tisas.
Nice one.
Ooh, like a little cheetah.
So this is the little Tisas Cheetah. I don't know how it's pronounced. Bate? I always said Faith, but then I realized that the I comes after the T. So what we have here is it's basically a copy off of the Beretta Cheetah family, done by Tisas, which is based out of Turkey. So not much else to say about it other than that. If you like the Beretta Cheetah line, and you want something that's a little bit less expensive, although the ergonomics and everything here, it's essentially just a copy of the Cheetah, really, is what it is. But it's a really cool pistol, not much else to say about it. What do you think about the condition of that one?
I would say excellent, Chris.
I must have thrown the paperwork somewhere.
Yeah, I did not see any paperwork.
Okay, so we'll assume the customer said excellent. It looks excellent to me. Really no wear or anything on it. But anyway, really cool firearm. Big thank you to our customer. We'll move on to the next one. We've reached the bottom of the pile, and this one comes to us from Ohio. We're ending it on a high note with a Glock missing a latch. It's a gimp Glock. Let's see here. What we have here is a Glock 26 pistol with, it looks like, night sights added to it. The Glock 26 is the double stack subcompact that is what most people would carry a 9mm before the 43 had come out. Essentially, you take a Glock 19 and chop it down at the barrel and chop it down at the grip to a 12-round capacity magazine. You have a Glock 26. I carried one of these for several years. This is the one, not this exact one, but this is what I was carrying when I dropped my magazine out, getting into my car. Story from last week's video.
Still got mine.
Still got your magazine. This is good.
Made me check.
Not much else to say about it. Glock 26s have been around for a long time. They're one of the sort of the first of the Glock releases. Being in the 9mm family, people don't really go after these much anymore, especially with the newer sort of micro carry 9mm that are out there today. But they still make a decent, if you can get one at a good price, a decent glove box gun. You can still put the larger capacity Glock 19, Glock 17 round, or the Glock 19 and the Glock 17 model magazines in here, as well as the 33 round stick mags. So for something with a sort of shortened front end, you can still get those larger magazines in there if you want to do that. So still a cool firearm and still very usable if you can get them at a decent price. So what do you think about the condition of that one?
I'd have to go with excellent, Chris.
That's what the customer said. I totally agree. There's maybe, no, I thought I saw a wear mark or two, but I was wrong. I would say this one's excellent. There's a little bit of wear on the top of the sides, but it's not a big deal. Definitely, I would say, again, excellent condition. There's not really any marks on it. Anyway, that is it for this video. The guns that we got it. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this video. That is all we have for you today. If you come back to these videos often and enjoy them, please let us know by hitting that subscribe button and go ahead and turn on bell notifications so you are aware when we are posting these videos. Also, please give us a big thumbs up and be sure to share this video with your friends and family and people that you don't like. Anyway, guys, we're going to leave you off with that. I am Chris.
I'm Randy.
And we will see you next time. We won a website.
We won a website.
We won a website in the Indiana State Hoosier Lottery, and everybody's like, "Er?" I like the sound of that.
I like the sound of that.
I'd rather have that than $10 million.
Yeah.
Anyway, beaniebabies.com. I would much rather have that.
With labels.
With labels. Beaniebabieswithlabels.com. found the end of the roll. Ahoy!
Ahoy there, mates! Ahoy!
Hello, Clarice. It's good to see you again. I don't know why that was in my head. There's a lot of dark things in there. It's basically a little Beretta cougar. No, that's not the word I'm looking for. Is it
Cheetah?
Cheetah. Thank you. I always get my large cat family mixed up. It is the Beretta Cheetah.
A cougar is a very old cheetah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by and checking out this video.
Deep thoughts by Jack.